For the 5th day in a row, school children in Bidar in Karnataka, some as young as 9 years old, have been questioned for taking part in a play that was critical of the Citizenship Act and the NRC. Their officials at school have been charged with sedition. One mother has also been arrested. It's outrageous. Maya Sharma has more on that story.
This protest in Bengaluru after charges of sedition against a school in Bidar in North Karnataka, and the arrest of the head teacher and a student's mother in connection with a school play that was critical of CAA. Many have been shocked by police action in this case and the fact that young children were questioned by police about the play.
What the government is doing with the children at Bidar is very shameful. Have we as a country lost our moral compass to such an extent?
The young girl whose mother is now under arrest says,
nothing wrong happened that day, that they were trying to give information about NRC and CAA and were trying to give good messages. We were trying to convey small messages, nothing against Prime Minister Modi.
A group of Bengaluru parents who describe themselves as parents for peace, justice and plurality issued a statement condemning what they described as illegal and inhumane actions of the Bidar police.
That kind of creativity space need to be admitted by any kind of government system, but asking or children who did this and charging sedition is one major crime.
The school authorities are shocked by the events that followed a play performed in January at the school, against which a complaint was filed.
The four times they interrogated the children and they were kept out of the class for around 4 to 5 hours regularly. DYSP will come at around 1 o'clock and he will start questioning till 4 o'clock. We don't know for what reason they have put this 124A section on us.
जो हमारे प्रधानमंत्री के बारे में स्कूल में नाटक करना, गलत बातें करना, अनपार्लियामेंट्री वर्ड यूज करना, उसलिए पुलिस ने वो इंक्वायरी कर रहा है.
All this incident shows that government using the government authority to suppress the voice of the people of this nation, this country.
A case of sedition against a school. School children being questioned. The mother of a child and the head teacher arrested because they performed a play on CAA. Police action in Bidar shocked many people, including those who have turned out here today to protest against what the police are doing with respect to that school in Bidar. With Govindamurthy, Maya Sharma for NDTV.
Well, we have Mr. Vivek Reddy of the BJP joining us from Bangalore and Advocate Nandita Rao here in the studio with us. Just to ask you, Nandita Rao, first, you know, there's been this huge debate about the sedition law itself and whether it's time to get rid of it because it's a relic of British times. But what is important is that the Supreme Court has time and again laid out what the rules are as far as invoking the sedition law is concerned. Now, tell us about that first. What do you have to do to actually be, accused of sedition?
So, first of all, I would like to say that what these children have done is absolutely not sedition by any stretch of imagination. Section 124A IPC does not apply to these facts. This section was challenged before the Honorable Supreme Court in 1962, saying that it's violative of Article 19. And the Supreme Court in Kedarnath judgment has clearly said that when from discussion and advocacy, the movement is to incitement, not just by words, but by actions, i.e. you're distributing weapons, you're financing something, not just that you're standing up and saying, and there has to be incitement for disaffection. You have to say Karnataka should separate from India or something. Here they are just criticizing a law, and section 124A, the exception itself says, critique of a law and demanding legal withdrawal of such a law is acceptable. After all, in Tamil Nadu, the Jallikattu protests were of a Supreme Court judgment and they were all shouting.
Mr. Reddy, do you think this is a complete overreach then by your government in Karnataka and that perhaps the BJP government there needs to reconsider this sedition case?
Well, I'm really surprised that this is being defined as just a mere critique of the government or the law, critique of the law. When a person or when the play that the disputed play says hit the person with slippers, It is not mere criticism. Let us try to understand that. Let us
Is it
know
seditious?
the common sense behind this. Well, if sedition is a question of degree. If it ultimately, the cumulative effect of the statement is that it incites hatred, ill will, disaffection against the government, then it is sedition. It's a question of degree. So investigation is
That's
being
not how the
conducted
Supreme Court has
to
defined
understand
it.
the minds
That's
behind
not-
this.
No. Are you saying that
Well,
everyone
that's-
who criticizes the government is
kindly
seditious?
go by the definition.
I am. I've
It is
got the
not
Supreme
criticism.
Court order in
That's
front
the
of me.
misconception. That is, you may have the Supreme Court order. The misconception is that this is not criticism. Supreme Court said it is criticism. It is not seditious to be
Wrong.
critical.
Absolutely
to be critical.
false.
This is not
Absolutely
criticism.
false.
To say throw slippers against the ruler of the nation, to say throw
There's no
slippers
ruler
against
of
those who
the
have made this
nation.
law. Is that criticism? Isn't there some level
Firstly,
of
Mr.
dignity
Reddy,
with which people should talk
this
converse merely
multiple
because it is
media
a play?
reports have
That does
debunked
not
this
mean you
claim
can say anything
that
and
the
everything.
student said throw slippers at the Prime Minister first. Secondly, that while that may be distasteful and uncalled for, how does that
See, the
amount to
problem is,
sedition?
we are
Are
trying
you
to
saying
decide
it's
the
okay
investigation.
for the police to be questioning
Sitting in
9-year-old
Delhi,
children, Mr.
sitting
Reddy?
in Delhi and in Bangalore, we are trying to say what is happening in Bidar. That's the problem here.
No. So you are
Allow
saying
the
it's okay.
investigation to go
You're
ahead.
saying it's
Let
okay
them
to charge.
investigate and finalize.
It's okay to question
But-
9-year-olds.
But the
Mr.
videos
Reddy?
that were viral, but the videos that went tribal, they have not charged the 9-year-old.
Why are they
They
questioning
have charged
them?
the people behind the
police has
9-year-old.
questioned them
There
for
is
hours
no way
every day.
9-year-old
This is the
people can
5th
be
day in a
charged.
row, Mr. Reddy. The
Well,
5th
even a
day.
child witness, you know criminal law, even a child witness is a witness in criminal law. They will have to investigate. As part of the investigation,
Right, and what rules
they
are
will
they
have to get
following
at the
for
minds
that? Because
behind this.
Nandita Rao, they're not even
But
following
I am
procedure.
surprised to
These
say-
children are not supposed
I
to
am
be questioned by
surprised
the
to say
police
that
in
you're
this way.
saying
I can't believe you're
throwing
defending this,
slippers
Mr.
is
Reddy.
criticism.
I think Mr.
As far as Mr. Reddy is
No,
concerned,
I'm surprised
any
to say-
criticism of the
I'm
government is
surprised to
seditious.
imagine throwing slippers is treated as criticism.
Throwing
I mean,
It's
how,
not-
how
it's not
casual
an-
can you get about
It
this
is
issue?
absolutely not sedition.
surprised,
The
Nidhi.
judgment of the Honorable
I am
Supreme Court is
surprised about how
absolutely
you are
clear.
defining and
The fact
conceiving
that
this.
Mr. Reddy is in a state of hysteria and not letting anybody speak, he himself knows that what he is saying is wrong. The law is very clear. You have to incite people to violence and you have to actually distribute or do some
Try
violence.
to understand
Slippers
the
were not
fundamental
distributed.
difference
Mr.
between
Reddy's
criticism and throwing
interpretation of the law
If you
and
don't
the law as
understand
it
that
stands are
difference,
different.
there is some problem
The
in your
second
understanding.
thing is that
So the
what
fault-
the
the
police
fault
is
with
doing,
your understanding.
interrogating
Unless and until
8-year-olds.
you don't understand properly.
I'm sorry,
Because
Mr.
for some
Reddy.
people,
please let us
I'm
speak.
sorry.
Against
Do not
India.
Mr.
expose
Reddy, one
your
second,
ignorance.
1 second.
Do not expose
your
your
hysteria.
ignorance by out shouting me.
That is your hysteria, Nandita.
No, I'm not
The problem
hysterical
is-
at
Mr. Reddy,
all.
I'll have
You
to bring
believe-
the mics
I'm not
down.
hysterical.
Let me at
Against
least
India.
try
I'm
to
sad.
speak to each
I'm
other and
sad.
not at
Take
each
out the
other.
mic.
I'm sad
Please
that
take
your
out the
moral
mic.
compass is so
Please take out the
disturbed
mic, Nidhi.
that you're justifying the torture of children, 8-year-olds, in
you are saying
interrogation
throwing
for
slippers is
11
criticism.
hours
What
for
has
4
happened to your
days
morality?
is being justified
What
by
has
this
happened to your
gentleman
conscience?
who has no clue of the law.
Throwing slippers
But
against the
when
rulers
the
of the
police,
nation,
when
you
the
are
police
promoting it.
agency,
Is
well,
this your moral
Mr.
conscience?
Either Mr. Reddy can carry
Is
on
this
his
your
rant,
moral
Reddy,
conscience?
Mr.
or we
Reddy,
can
I'm
talk
bringing your
about the
mic
law.
down.
As a
I'm going to bring
dignified
your mic
person,
down.
as
I'm
an
sorry, I have
advocate,
to do that because
you
you're
are-
not going to let
you
her
may.
speak.
Please go ahead. Do it
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah,
keep
sure.
shouting,
Please bring
keep
the mic
shouting.
down. Yes. Now, Nandita, please finish your point. Then I'll go to him. Yes, exactly. That he says that saying that you're throwing slippers at somebody is an incitement to violence.
Saying that you will throw slippers at somebody or put slippers in somebody's neck, this does not constitute sedition. It would constitute sedition if you said that I will shoot you, you were found distributing guns, you were financing guns. Kedarnath judgment is very clear that till it is a critique, and here we are talking about 8-year-olds. I mean, even under the Juvenile Justice Act, if they were actually throwing slippers or distributing slippers, it would not be an offense. And for the police to be torturing 8-year-olds by interrogating them for 11 hours for 4 days is absolutely torture of children. For the fact that the Children's Commission of Karnataka has been participating in these interrogations, this is fascism. When the state terrorizes its citizens
Let me ask
and
Vivek Reddy
baby
about that.
citizens, then that is fascism.
So, Mr. Reddy, I mean, I'm sure somewhere, let's just take a step back and let's not please talk at each other. I'm sure somewhere you have a heart and you feel that it is wrong to be interrogating 8 and 9-year-olds in a sedition case. The mother of one of those children has been arrested. I mean, is this the country we want to become? Are we so sensitive to any kind of criticism, even if it is, you think it is unwarranted or whatever it is, that we're just going to, throw sedition charges at people? That the Congress used to do that. Does the BJP want to be the same? The Congress put a cartoonist in jail or under sedition, which was wrong.
Yes. Nidhi, first of all, I am really surprised that the panelist Nandita Das, being a Supreme Court advocate, is virtually standing here today on national television and promoting the cause of throwing slippers against persons who have made this law. This is her official stand, well, so be it. But the course of the law is different. Nandita Das's personal perceptions may be very casual about this. But I don't think the law can be so casual about it, number one. Second, when an investigation is on, even child witnesses are witnesses, but they are not arrayed as accused. Now what the law has tried to do is, it has tried to understand the minds behind this. Trying to understand the minds who organized and stage managed this play.
Oh my God, are you so,
Mr.
Reddy, are you so threatened by a school play?
What do you mean, oh my God?
Seriously?
See,
I have to ask you, are you so threatened by a school play?
It is what is being
propagated. It's a school play.
The lies, the malice,
Mr. Reddy,
fraud,
you have betrayed your insecurity. Can I please read out to you what the Bombay High Court has said about the sedition law?
One second,
Mr. Reddy.
If the lawyer here cannot understand,
I am reading out to you what the Supreme Court and the High Court have said on sedition.
That's the problem.
Mr. Reddy, the Bombay High Court clearly said in 2015 about the sedition. No, don't shout at me. When I give you facts, you'll shout at me. It said disapproval of the government within lawful means is not sedition. Obscenity and vulgarity is not sedition. So you can say, yes, this is a vulgar slogan. It is an obscene slogan. But it does not amount to sedition. Are you really under threat because 9 to 12-year-olds did a play in a school somewhere?
Does it have the cumulative effect? See, look here.
What is the cumulative effect?
No, it doesn't.
For God's sake.
You are taking out one or two sentences of the Supreme Court judgment.
It's
does
not what
it
it's
have
there.
The effect, cumulative
That's the
effect
ratio.
of creating
Read it
disaffection and
occasionally.
ill will?
Read it instead of reading
I
WhatsApp.
want to get Nandita to say the last word.
What more do you want?
I'm sorry.
When you say
I am
throw
sorry,
slippers,
Mr. Reddy.
when you say throw slippers,
you
it creates
betray
hate.
your insecurity.
Why do you say that? Why don't you
I
question
cannot
that?
believe the
Shame.
mighty
What sort of
Indian
hypocrisy
state is
is this?
scared of 9 and 10-year-olds.
I cannot believe
Come on.
what Nidhi is saying.
You are scared of
I
you're scared
cannot
of children,
believe
for
that
God's
Nidhi
sake.
is so
And
casual about
Nandita
this.
gets
That's
the last
the problem
word.
today.
Nandita. So where do we go from here? Because there's no end to this, right? Everyone's used this sedition law whenever they wanted to. And we've seen actually, if you look at the data, we have a graphic on that also, how the number of sedition cases have gone up in the last few years. See, everybody is seditious.
We cannot go to a more frightening and lower place than where we are. Because when you have 8-year-olds being interrogated by the police for 11 hours for 5 days, and the Honorable High Court of Karnataka and the Honorable Supreme Court are doing nothing. Citizens from a small town maybe are not able to reach the courts, but the courts are able to reach them. And nobody except people who are cowards are scared of children and will use the police force to torture these children. And to arrest a mother in sedition for what a child has said is a violation of the Juvenile Justice Act. Every principle of the Juvenile Justice Act is being violated, and this is fascism at its worst, where children are being terrorized. And the fact that my gentleman here can be smiling about it, I don't know how he meets the eyes of his children.
I have to leave it at that. I have to leave it at that. I don't know what to say, honestly. One is speechless when one looks at how this story is playing out. Thanks very much for joining us. Thank you.